even know what I'm gonna title this video. Because this is like genuinely one of the craziest days of my life. And I don't know how to explain it in words. Last summer, the night before, I think this was like a Saturday. So like on a Friday night, I get a text from my friend and she's like, yo, does anyone want to go to the Highland Street Festival? And I was like, Highland Street Festival? Who? I do not know her. So I'm like, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's like in the Highlands and everyone just like comes out. And I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. So I Google it. There's like the street, right? And then a whole bunch of like booths and stuff are like set up on the street for you to like walk down and like buy stuff at. And it's just like everyone just like goes and has a great time at the Highlands Street Festival. So I was like, I want to go. So my friend, we'll call her Alex. I text back Alex. I'm like, hey, I'll come there tomorrow. Where do you want to meet up? And she's like, oh, just meet up at my house. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then I wake up in the next morning, get ready, and go over to Alex's house. She's like super cool. Her parents are super cool and nice. So we like walk over to the Highland Street Fair and walk up and down it a couple of times. And then we meet up with one of our other friends who we'll call Spunky. Spunky also lives there. She was like walking around with her parents. And Spunky and I are like close, you know, like we're good. We're like, we close, like, you know? So we just like meet up with Spunky and like walk around with Spunky. And so we're talking, we're like, who else lives in here? This other kid. We'll name him Surfer. So Surfer, like, couldn't go because apparently he got like hit by a car the previous day when he was like running around with his friends. We were like, you know what? The lemonade here is like really good. Like, Alex is like, you know what would be really good right now? Some lemonade. So we go and we get some lemonade. And then we're like, you know who'd really like this lemonade? Surfer. We buy Surfer some lemonade. He lives like a couple of blocks away. So we're walking over, right? And then on the way over to his house, we like walk by this one little like there's like a bunch of houses, right, all together. And then in one of the lamps, like the overhead lamps, like outside, you know, like outside of your house, like during the night, there's like the lamp that like lights up like the the porch outside of your front door. There was like a bird, like wings stuck inside of the lamp. And so me, Alex, and Spunky are like, oh my god, we need to do something. So we like try and free the bird. Oh my god, what do we do? And we're like knocking on the door. We're like, hello, is anyone home? Like, hello, there's a bird stuck in your lamp. Like, let her out. And like, this goes on for like a good 10 minutes. We're like trying to free this bird. And then just out of nowhere, like the bird just like frees itself. Like, yanks its wing out and just like flies off. We keep walking to Surfer's house. Surfer's house is like a 2-story one. Like, you got like the top floor and the bottom floor. And then like the way that it was laid out was like the front was on like this side, but then like the back was over here and there was a door on both sides, right? So the door on this side, the one that we're close to, there's a staircase down and you go into it, and then his room is like right there. His parents are both like working out in the yard and his brother's there, and we're like, hey, can we go in and like give him some lemonade? And they're like, yeah, like for sure. So we like break into his house, right? Open up his door and like sneak into his room and like scare him because he was like asleep in his room because he like got hit by a car, and we just like give him his lemonade. I have a video on my Snapchat. I'll put it in here if I can find it. After that, we like walk back to the fair. And when we get back to the fair, we meet up with another friend. We'll call this friend I want to say Wheel of Fortune, but we're just going to call her Fortune. So Fortune kind of showed up later, and she's very important to the story, so keep her in mind, right? When we meet up with Fortune, we decide we're going to go get food, right? Because, like, we're hungry. And me and Fortune go and get Indian food, and then Spunky and Alex go and get Greek food. And then we meet up at where all the food carts are, and then walk back over to Alex's house, and then we eat in Alex's backyard, and everything is like fun. Like, we're chilling, we're talking. Her mom comes out and gives us like frozen limeade. Like, it's a little like not like a ice smoothie, like a slushy kinda, you know. Spunky's like, you know what, guys, I need to go home. So me and Fortune go, and we decide to walk Spunky over to her house, right? So in order to get to Spunky's house, like, this is Alex's house, and then this is Spunky's house. But then, like, the fair is, like, right in between it, right, you know? So, like, we have to walk all the way over to this fair, and then out on the other side of the fair and over to Spunky's house to bring her home. Which was, like, fine, because as we're walking, we, like, pass this one house, and, like, outside of this house, like, there was a freaking, like, crushed up license plate just, like, chilling in this lady's rocks, and I'm like, what is this? So I, like, pick it up, and then the lady, like, pops out of nowhere, and is like, excuse me? What do you think you're doing? Like, what are you doing on my property? Like, what is that? Like, are you putting trash on my property? What are you doing? And I'm like, girl, like, this was on your rock. Like, do you want the fucking crushed up license plate? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, here, like, take the crushed up license plate. And she's like, okay. So I hand her the crushed up license plate, and I'm like, sorry for, like, doing nothing wrong. And she's like, bye. And I'm like, bye. We keep walking over to Spunky's house, and we get to her house, drop her off. Me and Fortune walk back over to the fair. And then on the way back to the fair, everything just kind of, like, I don't know if she got a vibe too, but, like, it just kind of felt off. Like, nothing, like, was going wrong, per se, but it just, like, didn't, like, nothing really felt right, I guess, is, like, the words. I was a little on edge. As we make it back to the fair, walking up and down the fair again, and we pass one shop that is, like, cute. It's, like, it's got, like, a white, like, you know, like, tent thing. Like, it's got the 4 stands and, like, the point at the top, you know. And then inside of it, it's selling a whole bunch of, like, cute little plant things. But, like, we've seen it before, so we just keep walking back. Like, 10 seconds later, we're, like, talking, and then out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that, like, we walk by the exact same stand. What? Like, the exact same stand. What the fuck? So I'm like, did you, Fortune, did you notice that too? And she's like, oh my god, you're right. Like, we walked by it again. We're both, like, shook.
I am shooketh.
Beyond belief. Because, like, we just walked by it, and then walked by it again. So we both are like, okay, maybe there's just, like, 2. Maybe there's just 2. So we turn around and walk back up, and there's not 2. Like, there's literally not a second stand or anything that looks like it. Because it was, like, it, like, stood out because it's the only fucking, like, plant shop there. So we're like, oh my god, like, we just walked by this again. Like, we just, like, this is a fucking glitch in the Matrix. Like, M. Night Shyamalan, like, type of shit, you know? And we're both, like, beyond shook at this point. Because we're like, how did we just walk by it twice? Like, what the heck? So we walk back to the shop, and she walks up to the lady who's, like, running it. She's like, hey, lady, is there, like, you know, like, any chance that, you know, you, like, there's 2 shops, like, you here today? Like, there's 2 of you? And she's like, nope, just me. Like, I'm sorry, what? What? Just you? Just you? Okay. Then why did we walk by the same stand twice? It doesn't add up. So we're both, like, we're shook, but we're like, you know what? Let's go get some lemonade to calm down from this, right? So we walk down to, like, where the lemonade stand is, right? And the lemonade stand, keeping in mind, like, it's where all the other food stuff is. So, like, there's no reason to, like, carry heavy things, like, moving equipment, like, a food truck. And right behind, like, literally every single one of, like, the food places, there's a Penske truck. Me and Fortune both are like, why is there a Penske truck here? What are they moving? Like, this does not add up. This is an entire other video, but, like, we have a conspiracy theory in our friend group that, like, Penske trucks are government surveillance operations. But that's an entire other video. So we're both, like, on edge because we're like, why is there just a Penske truck chilling by the food stands? Like, what? You know? So, we buy our lemonade, right? And when she gets her change back, because she pays with, like, a 5, and the lemonade's, like, $1, they give her her change back, and she gets a $1 bill. And on this $1 bill, it says, like, track this $1 bill, like, find George or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I've seen one of these before. Like, these aren't that weird, but, like, it's kind of weird that, like, in front of the Penske truck, they give us, like, a tracking $1 bill, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's, like, it's kind of weird. Me and Fortune walk over to where my dad's picking me up. So we walk over, she lets me go. Like, 10 minutes later, I get a text from her that's like, I just went to go log my location in that bill, and it was already there. What? Her location was already in the bill. Like, what? Like, she hasn't done it before, and it's just there. So she's like, and I'm like, then she walks back over to where the lemonade stand is because, like, that's where her friends were or whatever. I don't know why. But she, like, goes back over to where the lemonade stand is. And as she walks by, she notices the Penske truck is gone. What the fuck? Everything about that is just, like, weird. And I just, like, every time I think about it, it, like, gives me chills, right? It's just, ugh, that's what keeps me up at night, is knowing that, like, such a big fucking glitch in the Matrix just happened to me, and, like, there's no explanation for why I walked by the same stand twice. Like, maybe I'm going crazy, but I don't know. You decide. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Something like